On my way out from the door, thought came, well, what am I going to speak today? And on the table is one of the books, Aghor Wisdom. I just opened it up. My eyes fell onto this sentence, untruth is unhealthy, give it up. Untruth is unhealthy, give it up. One of Baba's nuggets that you get in the email every day. What is the untruth that is unhealthy, that the sages, the gurus, the enlightened beings are telling us to give it up? And how easy is it to give it up? Do we know? What is the untruth? There are so many levels of this untruth. So many levels of untruth. We came absolutely pure as a child, whole. Because of the conditioning, the environment, the upbringing, the company we grew up in, whatever, a story was created. So and so is my father, so and so is my mother, and my daughter, my son, my friend, my wife, my husband, this and this. And we began to live this. Even the life is very good, we are getting all the blessing is there, abundance is there. Then we get caught up in their drama. Even if it's not the children's drama, the grandchildren's drama, we get caught into that, and it begins to take a toll on our journey, on our body, our mind, our health, our spiritual aspiration. And we live it. We begin to live it, and we say, this is our world, and this is my purpose. And we talk ourselves into it too. And we meet other like-minded, and they have the same story, and then we compare notes, and we create this bonding, and the world goes on. But the sage, the guru, says it's unhealthy. There is some truth to it, but it's not the whole truth. Sometimes we get totally dejected from this and dispassionate about this, and we pick up and go somewhere and change the environment, change the scene, change the partner, change. But then, no matter where you go, there you are. In the beginning, we start something new. I have seen people come to the ashram. In the beginning, they're inspired, happy, very content, with one little room, little cubby hole. Get comfortable. One becomes two, get more comfortable. Then the old patterns start coming back. No matter where we go, when we get comfortable, then the old pattern of the conditioning, the familiarity, the honeymoon gets old, then our real self starts shining. We forgot why we came there for. You see, this story runs into so many different levels in our lives. Things that used to nourish us, then they begin to dispel us. We lose taste for it. And it becomes unhealthy. Untruth is not healthy. Untruth is our identification with the Maya. That is the untruth. I know it's very scary. When we don't have this, then we don't know who we are. If that's all we have identified with our whole life, without any deeper contemplation, search, or looking at ourselves, we have no other identity. And it's very scary. Very scary. So we avoid it. Don't even go there. Don't talk. We read some more psychology, some more philosophy, some other things, and just don't go there. Let's watch another movie. Someone who has journeyed that, who has devoted his or her life to it, can say, give it up. And it sounds good to us too. Yeah, I should give it up. Sounds good. But when we are about to give it up, we all know how difficult it is and how we talk ourselves into going back to what is familiar. My question is it possible to give it up? We all consider ourselves spiritual, and we all want to walk on a good path, have a meaningful life. Is it possible? Is it possible? There is an old saying in India, I won't go into literal words, but it's like trying to ride on two boats, and what happens? And that's the predicament we are really in. That is one thing. We try to ride two boats. And the boat starts going this way, and then what happens? We split in two. If we say, okay, just get on one boat, then another one starts going. Then okay, balance the two. It all sounds so good, yes, balance. But does that balance bring us that fulfillment? One story that has not been written about Baba, last time I heard that it really made me think about someone, like when Baba was young, he must have been 19 or something, and his eyes fell on a woman's body, and he caught himself staring at something. And then he caught himself, and the man who was telling me the story, he was with Baba at that time. Baba asked him to bring some chili peppers, and Baba crushed those in two hands and put his in his eyes. This was a 19-year-old Baba, and everybody said, "What are you doing?" He said, "No, this one has distracted me from my path." So that kind of person who is that focused could say, it's unhealthy, give it up. And we are here, we say, oh, once in a while won't hurt. And why to live something that you cannot live, so find the middle path. But those who have tried to give up, look at all the people in AA programs. What do they have to do to give it up? They run from that what they are giving up in the beginning. They have no tolerance, or they are afraid of it. And they convince each other in the satsang. Well, at least that's what I think. That's what when they tell their stories and their struggles and their affraids, run from it. So in the early life of a spiritual aspirant, it's very important to acknowledge our weakness. And run from it. That has worked in the spiritual journey of the saints, and it's working even today in a very successful program. Untruth is unhealthy, give it up. How do we give it up? Can we give it up just by talking about it, finding different ways? Or do we have to have a ritual? When that kind of thought comes in my mind, when the familiar begins to come post-honeymoon, what do I do with it? I have to be very alert. Here it comes. Run. I don't have the answer. I just wanted to pose that to us all. Everybody sitting here is intelligent, smart, experienced. Somehow we are very fortunate. How do we help each other? How do we give it up? Something that's unhealthy. And we all have something unhealthy in our life. And we have attempted to give it up. how do we slip? Is it possible to give it up? Can we really identify with the truth? That's the other spectrum of this question. Can we ever be free? Can we ever obtain moksha, the nirvana, while living in these two boats? Untruth is unhealthy. Give it up. And the biggest untruth is our identification with our story. So that's all I'm going to say today, and I'd love to hear, because it's a very much alive topic, and it's each one of us is dealing with it on so many different levels. So I'd love to hear what's on your mind.